You say I'm out of touch, but in bed you can't get enough. You say I drink too much. It's the only way to deal with your love. I think about you, baby, every time I close my eyes, every waking moment. I only think of how you criticize me. Yeah, I fall in love again. Yeah, I fall in love again, baby. And I know you hate my friends. Oh yeah, I know you hate my friends. You say I'm out of touch, but in bed you can't get enough. You say I drink too much. It's the only way to deal with your love. I'm on my way to see you. I just can't help but smile. Think my love will free you. Know that yours just ain't worthwhile. No. Ooh. Yeah, I fall in love again.
Luna
Yeah,
Jamboree,
fall in
was that Luna Jamboree, Luna J, our artist spotlight of the week. Go out to our website, www.aevradio.org, and check them out. Please let them know that you're listening to them on American Veterans Radio, and let them know where you're listening from. So important for our indie artists out there to know that literally they are getting a world. You're listening to them on American Veterans Radio, and let them know where you're listening from. So important for our indie artists out there to know that literally they are getting a worldwide listenership. I am so fortunate to have Bryan Copeland and Kim Painter with me from Luna J. And I'm going to ask Kim first when we get onto it. But in the meantime, Kim, Bryan, thank you guys so much for joining me live from Springfield, Missouri.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, I am telling you, first of all, Kim, and I don't mean to be sexist here, but you don't see a lot of women bassist players, and you kick ass with that. How did that all happen?
I started playing when I was around 13. My dad has played guitar most of his life and is a guitar teacher, and so I kind of got started there, but then I heard the Red Hot Chili Peppers was my first band where I heard the bass and went, Dad, what is that? What's that instrument? I have to play that. And he said, well, that's the bass guitar, and it was the first time I had ever heard it as its own instrument, and I gravitated towards it and just played and stuck with it, and I've been playing ever since. And I love it. I think of it as its own instrument. Sometimes people I think have a tendency to think of it as like a backup to the guitar or just playing root notes, but it's definitely its own animal and its own thing, and I love it. I love everything about it.
Well, I can actually tell that because, like you said, a lot of time people think it is a backup. No, if you listen to a bass, there's a lot of work goes there, and it brings so much complimentary stuff to it. Bryan.
Yeah.
Talk to me. You guys, you being Luna J or Luna Jamboree, you guys have been around since 2000. What's the story with that?
Well, basically, Tyler, the keyboard player, and I met in college. I was actually his resident assistant at the time, and he had actually never really played piano before. He played drums in high school and stuff. And he came and, I had a piano in my room, and he just started playing on it and was not very good. I wasn't very good either. And we just kind of decided to start playing music together. And, there was another guy in our hall his name was John Craggle. He used to, play with us as well. And the three of us decided to kind of join up and start writing music. We didn't really like to cover music so much. We just started writing music. It was bad, but it was a start. It was a start. And anyway, that summer we decided hey, we're going to keep doing this and have some fun with it. And we need a name. So John came up with Luna Jamboree, and it stuck with us for a long time until this this year, when we changed it to Luna J, a lot of people were thinking we were a country band or like a bluegrass band or something like that. So we decided that it was probably the smartest thing to change it to something that was more ambiguous. Yeah, I guess would be the best name for it. But yeah, we started, it was just the three of us. We played acoustic guitar, and two of us played acoustic guitar and played drum, like he played a hand drum, Tyler did. We were playing at Panera Bread. It's like, just strumming along, and she came up to us after the show and she's like, "You guys need a drummer?" And we're like, "Yeah." So we went over to her house, and eventually she introduced us to Kim, and, that was the band for a while, the five of us. And then John and Kate both left. Kate moved to Japan, and John just left. Kate moved to Japan, and John just decided to leave the band, kind of creative differences kind of thing. And then, we added our drummer that we have now, Tom Pearson. He used to play with a band called Onward, Etc. But he was leaving that band at the same time, and it just kind of so happened to work out in that sense, and that's been the band ever since.
I can understand, I guess, from my end of it is because Jamboree, and you already know, I'm born and raised in Missouri, and bluegrass was kind of a big thing there. So I can understand when you want to take a step back a little bit, but I love the fact that you still didn't lose the root, because you left the J there. So, if anybody who's out, you still got your roots in the Jamboree there in Missouri.
Yeah, the Jamboree was kind of the Missouri thing. Like that's part of why we made it that. It was like it's a party, but it's like Ozarks version kind of thing. So, we thought it was kind of a good mix of like that psychedelic side with the Luna and the Ozarky party.
And we like it because our fans, that have been with us since the beginning still know, that the J stands for Jamboree, but then, we can extend to a little bit wider audience that, doesn't know, and then, but the J can stand for whatever they want it to.
Juxtaposition.
Yeah.
I don't know, we come up with different things for it every time. What was the other one?
Justice.
Luna Justice. Yeah.
It's kind of fun, in that way, and then people all, it's kind of a neat thing, and people ask, what does the J stand for? Well, Jamboree, and here's our story, So.
Yeah.
But here's the thing too, though. I know being creative, and naturally you got to do that when you're, especially if you want to stand out in the crowd. But you guys do literally have the funk. You still haven't lost a little blues there from Missouri. Of course, St. Louis, right, is known for blues. But you also have the groove. Is it in the life of Luna J when you guys sit there and say, "I want this sound," and somebody else says, "I want this sound," and another one says, "I want this"? How do you bring all that together?
We don't ever do that.
Yeah, we really don't. We kind of
adapt.
Right. I think mainly the cool thing about us is that we have multiple songwriters in the group. Bryan, Tyler, and I all write songs, and we all have different influences and things that we listen to. And I think a lot of times we're just writing the song. We're not really focused on, what does our group sound like, and what is our sound, and how do we make this art, and focus writing the song, and then it kind of just naturally happens. A lot of times it ends up being us,
Yeah, we've gained a sound over time.
Right.
It took us a long time to kind of refine our sound, but I think we're actually getting more towards that point now. If you listen to like what I sent you, like we have vocals, but like there's a couple things that are more country oriented. There's blues, there's funky stuff, there's a good mix of different things. There's pop songs, like straight up pop songs. We try not to stop ourselves from having good songs. Really just, if we start writing a song and we all go, this is a good song, we try to make whatever's best for the song. If you listen to Hooked, like that's a straight up pop song. That's about as pop as we're ever gonna get, probably. And then you'll listen to something like, I don't know, like Road Trippin', and that's such a groovy kind of like Bonnie Raitt kind of style. Like we don't ever stop ourselves from making a good song.
Kim, you mentioned something about, okay, there's a bunch of writers in the band, I should say. So do you guys come up with the lyric first, then the music, or the music and the lyric, or how do you work that?
A lot of times, one of us will write lyrics and music on whatever. I write a lot on the bass guitar, actually. I write, lines, depending on, sometimes I come up with a melody vocally first and then put a bass line with it. Sometimes I come with a bass line first and then put a melody vocally with it. So, Bryan or I or Tyler will kind of finish a song vocally and lyrically most of the time with our own instrument and bring it to the group, and then the rest of everybody else kind of fills in their own parts around it, or at least that's how we have been working. And then a little more recently, we've kind of been doing some collaboration writing, like you say.
Tyler and I have actually written a lot of stuff together. Tyler's not a singer, so like he'll have like keyboard part and I'll have like idea for a melody, and then him and I'll write like lyrics together. And we've been doing more of that, like all three of us more recently too. Tom just kind of, just lays down the rhythm, but like the rest of us, like we tend to write and we just bring it to the table and see what people think. Like I personally usually write and just bring it to the table and see what people think. Like I personally usually write and finish a song and like it could be its own thing. I could probably go record a version of it that I would think of, but then like I bring it to them and they just expand on what I would think and just make it better. Honestly, like, I mean, I'm trying to do some more solo stuff. That's just a creative outlet. That's stuff that I'm never going to play with the band. It's just one of those things where they just kind of make it into what we are. And it's real nice to be able to just kind of like, I've started being able to write for Kim now. Like I know like what she's good at. So I'll write songs and I'll know like, Kim will be able to put a really cool part in here and I don't have to worry about that. Like I can just play a basic guitar part here and she can put something in that really makes it stand out. Like that kind of.
Yeah, we know each other really well now, so we kind of can visualize what the other one's going to do, what they're going to put in, and that helps spatially, I think, when we're thinking about songs.
Well, let me ask you, I mean, first of all, how many live gigs do you guys do, on an average?
Per year?
Yeah.
I would say probably about 50-ish
right
now.
We do about 2 or 3 a month, usually, I think, right?
Yeah, I would say close to 50. I would guesstimate about 4 a month.
Now, the reason I bring that up is because, and I've asked this question younger, some older, some in between. How do you guys respond? Do you change, not your lineup, but the way you present a song? If you say you got an older crowd versus a younger crowd versus someone who just basically sitting on their thumbs kind of crowd.
Yeah, I mean, we have different set lists, definitely for sure. We kind of tend to make set lists as we go. So, I mean, like, yeah, we have our staple songs that we're going to play no matter what, but then we have songs that we can really interchange and make it different for different crowds. Cover songs as well. Like, I mean, you have to have some cover songs. Some crowds really like covers. So if you can mix in some covers mixed in with, stuff they might like, then they tend to pay more attention. Some crowds will just play all original stuff and they love it. And sometimes like it's the complete opposite. It's really, you kind of have to read the room. I don't even know how to describe it. Yeah. Older crowds, it's hard to know like the songs that they'll like though. Cause sometimes we played with like these two bands that were kind of almost metal. Metalish band, down in Oklahoma City one time. And I never thought that they would like us at all. And we got the biggest response out of all the bands. And it was just really surprising because the two local bands that brought all the people, their people liked us more than they liked that style, I felt like. And it would not have made sense in my head, but we were just like, let's be us. Let's just do what we do and kill it. And we've been kind of feeling that more recently.
Yeah, I think you have to be kind of, if you want to make your way and as your own band, you have to be unapologetic for what you are and what you play. And so, we keep the crowd in mind. It's really important, for us, I think, to be true to ourselves and true to our music and believe in what we're doing, and like, I find that the more that we do that, better response that we get, honestly, no matter what, because the fact that you're putting yourself out there and you're being true to what you do. Really cool feeling,
Yeah, Shakespeare once said, to their own self be true, right? So, I mean, and I appreciate that. Now, here's another question too, though. I want to ask, and I ask this also, especially with indie artists. Do you, and think about this, because in our society today, you can actually do your own thing, but do you guys really want to go down a road where you have a label, that picks you up and they fund you and everything else, but they control your day to day? Here's what you're going to do. Here's what you're going to say. Here's the way you're going to look. Want more of, let us have our own label and we control how we go about it.
I don't feel like we are please control us kind of group of people.
Yeah.
Now we're from Missouri. No, we're not.
Yeah, I mean, unless you show me what you're gonna get me out of controlling me, and it better be a whole lot of money.
Right. Yeah, I guess it depends on what, you have to make a living,
Sure.
If you're an artist, you're trying, that's obviously the main goal is to make your living playing music. So yeah, there's a certain element of, let's do this so that we can get more stuff out.
The key to that, I think, would be, hey, we're trying to sign you to make this many albums in this many years, and then we'll let you go. Well, that would have to be a short period of time. Like, if I was going to do that, like, I would love to have somebody backing us and somebody pushing us, and because, like, honestly, the legwork is difficult, and it's a pain in the ass.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest. Like all the emails I have to send and all that stuff just to get a show is really annoying. But at the same time, like, it's worth it because I don't have to answer to anybody. She doesn't have to answer to anybody. Nobody's telling me to lose weight. Nobody's telling me that I wear this on stage. We're coming up with our own thing. And we have a better idea, especially for this album that we're going to have coming out this spring, of like a real like promotional strategy. We're getting a better idea of how to see the business side of the industry. And I don't think that you need to have people behind you. It's just behind you. It's just being intelligent and, I don't know, like, different. Like, doing something that other people necessarily wouldn't think of, Like, in the short answer, even though I just gave you the long one, I would much rather not be signed, personally. But if we got signed, I'm not going to complain.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it just kind of depends, but I think for the most part, we're good with trying to do what we're doing on our own. But we would, if we got signed, I think it would definitely be one of those things where we want to find the right fit, somebody that a little bit of our creativity, but but push us in a good way.
We're not going to be a pop band. We're not going to be a band that's just going to do the same thing over and over again. We don't want to be that. I feel like we kind of go back to a 70s kind of feel where we want to do original things and our own thing, and we want to put out different stuff. Like, we don't want our CDs to sound the same all the way through. And I feel that most bands that are signed after one or two albums, that's basically what they do. And I don't want to become that ever. That's the hardest part, honestly.
In a different generation, and Bryan just mentioned on the 70s. I mean, I'm an old dude. In the 70s, when I was growing up and getting into rock and stuff, we didn't have the internet, we didn't have YouTube, we didn't have Facebook, Twitter, on and on and on. How has social media really played a part in you guys getting out there? Because I can tell you how I heard about you was from Reverb Nation. I go out there and research that all the time, and I was like just smitten with you guys, and I sent out an email. So how has that changed the way you guys do what you do?
Well, I think, in a way, social media, and broadcasting on the different platforms definitely makes it easier to reach a wider audience. I think it used to be bands had to do a heck of a lot more touring to get to even the amount of, fans that we have right now had to do a heck of a lot more touring, because how else is somebody in a different town going to hear you if they don't come to your town, or if they don't? So I think in that respect, social media is an awesome tool to be able to broadcast yourself quickly to multiple places, and have, people be able to hear your stuff without having to pack up the van and drive there or submit, to get on the radio. And I think it's awesome. I think it's a great tool, for people to connect and just be able to find what they like. So I love everything about social media. I think, and I mean, obviously it's made it easier, I think, for there to be more competition, because people, there's so much out there now because of that. But
it makes it more of a pain in the ass to like book shows sometimes, because like there's all these bands that are sending in their stuff, and like, half of them probably aren't good enough to even play a show,
right?
But they think they are, And so these people have to wade through all the stuff to go through and to find the bands that are actually maybe worth playing at their club. And sometimes I feel like these owners and stuff will get tired of it.
Yeah, they kind of look you over maybe because
they don't
get enough stuff through their mail that's actually worth their time.
From Springfield, Missouri, like they're probably not worth my time. You know, like some people like might think that way, whatever. And I also think that like it's great to have the internet. Like you guys finding us on Reverb is awesome.
Yeah.
And like amazing. Like honestly, like you guys have been really, really awesome. And so thank you for that, first off.
That's our goal, man. That's our goal.
But no, it's just one of those things where one thing I hate most about the internet and like in the radio, the way it is now is there's a lack of DJ run radio where, you know, back in the day, there was a lot more, hey, I could send this to the DJ and he might put it on the radio.
Yeah, because cassette tape or an 8-track or whatever the case may be, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Track or whatever the case may be, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And nowadays, like, I can't do that. If I send it to a radio station, they're gonna laugh and throw it in the trash.
Well, because they have set stuff.
Exactly.
That they have.
Well, not in American Veterans Radio. You send your stuff, we'll play it.
Not here.
Not here.
No, absolutely not
but,
here.
But like a lot of radio stations, I mean, it's just really rare to have this style of radio.
Well, here's the thing we're really proud of is the fact that we're not commercialized, right? And so we have the flexibility to do what we want to do. And we've been doing that now 9 years, and 183 countries around the world tuned into us. You know, we are different. I mean, and we don't have DJs 24/7 because we're all volunteers, but we do have DJs literally from around the world. And it's just something that we love, because I know where you're going with that. I remember when I was going through basic training of that, and I remember listening to a station out of Rolla, and it would shut off like it, you know, now you got, you know, internet. It is literally worldwide. And I just find that fascinating that anywhere, anytime you can go out there and say, I want to listen to this kind of music from this part of the country or world. And it's there. With American Veterans Radio, we go out to the world, but we still stay true to who we are. You know, does that make sense?
It goes with the last question you asked. Like, would you rather be a commercial radio station? Would we rather be a commercial band?
Yeah.
Like, it's similar in that respect. Like, you obviously have chosen this. We've obviously chosen ours. Like, somebody would have to, like, really put something out there to make it out for us to ever not be that way.
Same way here. Hey, guys, Kim Painter, Bryan Copeland from the band Luna J. You guys are phenomenal. How can people go out and buy your music? How can they find out all about you guys? Tell us all about it.
LunaJmusic.com.
Right.
That's the easiest way because it's got links to everything. Apparently somebody that from Germany, we saw on Twitter the other day that said that they tried to go to our website, our Facebook and stuff from our website, and we fixed those links. So everything's good to go now, but that's the easiest way to find everything. It's got links to our Spotify. It's got links to, and if you want to listen on Spotify, it's, Luna J is one of them. Luna J is one of them, but that's only got a single on it right now until March, and then we'll have like another 5 songs on there. And then Luna Jamboree is the other one. Follow both of them. It's a pain because they won't let us change our name on the other stuff without us repaying and redoing all this different stuff. So if you want to follow us, follow both of those things, and that's the easiest way to hear all of our music.
Yeah. And you can purchase it on iTunes and CD Baby and
make sure you look up both names. Luna J, Luna Jamboree.
Google Music. We're pretty much on every on all the platforms we can be on.
Pandora now, so you can put in Luna J Radio. It won't probably sound very much like us.
Well, it's our pop song we were talking about. It's it's hooked and it's meant to be a pop song and it's awesome. I mean, for what it is.
You'll get some Bruno Mars, you'll get some Ed Sheeran, you'll get some, which isn't a bad thing.
No,
it's just one of those things where it's not really like what we normally are, but still tune in to Luna J Radio on Pandora too. It works.
Hey, thank you guys so much. And by the way, please feel welcome to email us, send us your new stuff. And by the way, I want to tell to everybody who's listening out there that you guys literally gave us the exclusive to your brand new songs. Not going to be even released until mid part of January. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Yes. We thank you guys, and thank you guys. Thanks for all the veterans of your service.
Yes, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, go out to our website, www.avradio.org. Go to the Artist Spotlight of the Week.